Hi everyone and happy Tuesday. Welcome to the second part of this video. We've got a lot of intricate little bits and pieces to do on our camel's blankets and things today. Now I was going to start with his sort of bridal, I guess it is, thinking that it would be all the same colour, and I'm just having a look. Now I'd quite like to go away from the reds and blues that we've used predominantly up there, and maybe something a little bit different. So I'm thinking maybe a bright orange. Just having a little look at my list now. Chromaflow pencils is what we're using today. I think I could use the flame. I think that is quite a good orange colour. So here it is, flame. Now, as I mentioned yesterday, I do have a comparison chart available for some of the main brands of pencils, so you can use those if you don't have this set, or you can just guess if you wished. There we go. Sometimes guessing works. This is just, it's just a mid-orange, so, guess could work quite well. Now, trying to decide whether I want to put a little bit of darker orange on the edges of these straps to make it look a little bit more rounded or interesting than just having flat colour. I think I might do, but we need to make sure it's not too close to the colour of our mane. So I think if I go for the autumn blaze, it's more of a reddish orange than a brown orange, so I hope it will work. Here, I'll put a little bit here. Yeah, I think that's going to work. So a little bit at each end of each sort of bridal piece, just to, especially here, look, where it would be curving underneath the neck of our camel. A little bit there, might be some shadow from the mane. That one's got some shadow from the strap above. There he is now. I've noticed now that there are lots of little gaps where I haven't coloured particularly well. So I'm just going to grab the Dijon, which is what I used for the camel, the main part of the camel, and just tidy that up. You may not need to do this at all if you've coloured yours nice and neatly, but mine is looking a little bit ragged in places, a few bits missing, so I'm just going to tidy it up slightly. There we go. Might need to do that as we go through. Now this little one here is quite fun, little necklace. I'm thinking maybe we could do two colours, every other colour, and I'm thinking we need to go for bright and cheerful and random, like lots of different colours. So this one is going to be pink and purple, so I am going to just have a look at what we've got. I think I am going to go for ultra pink. Just got to find it. Maybe it's there. Ultra pink, and then a sort of purpley colour that will go with it. I'm thinking the mauve will work quite nicely. Is that the mauve? No, that's the violet. I can't read. It's quite difficult actually, the way the light's shining on it. There we go. So mauve and ultra pink. So I'm going to start with my ultra pink and do this one. Now these are fluffy balls, so if you do a sort of round and round motion, it might look a little bit more like it's a sort of, I'm thinking, is it a pom-pom? Is it a paper flower? That sort of thing. Whatever it is, it can have a little bit of texture by just doing a scumbly motion like that. And then we'll use the mauve for the others. Oh, excuse me, I've got an itchy nose. Oh, there we go. And just work through them all. Now, having done this before, this camel, in the actual book itself, World of Wonders, I remember not knowing whether to use these colours on this. Can you see that? You can. So, I'm not sure. I think I might do them differently. I think my idea, I'm just sort of going to embrace colour today, so everything bright now. So what should we do? We'll go for a turquoisey colour, I think, next. What have we got? We've got turquoise green, and we've got a slightly darker. I think I'll just go for orient, and we'll use those for these. So with my turquoise green, I'm gonna do this here. I mean, that's probably a bead, but it doesn't matter. I just want to do them every other one again, like I did for the other, and then orient for the others. That looks quite blue. It doesn't really look turquoisey, but I think it still works. Oh, the one at the bottom, hang on. Let's fully fill that out. The one at the bottom in the turquoise green. Now, what do we have? I think I'm going to use the teal actually for the strap necklace. I don't know what to call it. This inside part here, I feel is going to be darker, so I'm going to put that down quite thickly there, and then here a little bit lighter. I'll fade it a bit up to the top. This way it might be catching the light at the top if it's sort of leathery or something like that. There we go. Now, that hasn't gone down particularly well, but I did bring through my Derwent blender today, so you can see what it does, and you can see how it just gets rid of that white paper nicely. But I'm just grabbing my Dijon and filling in. There's a tiny gap in there that I've missed. There we go. Okay, now we've got this bit. Now where should we go from here? I am thinking we've got beads on a sort of string, haven't we really? Let's make the string a sort of darker brown colour. Raisin might work. Where were you, raisin? There you are. The raisin's actually in the 24 set, so I've used this a fair bit already, but it does need sharpening because we've got to do that little string. There we go. There we go. It's quite an intense reddish brown like that, and then I'm thinking maybe this is sort of that string popping through here with where the beads are. I'm going to make that quite intense actually. There we go. Now what colour beads should we do? Well, we could do browns, but or reds, yellow. I think we'll do like sort of orangey brownish yellows. So golden sun is going to be my first choice. There it is. And I shall do all these beads and I hope they stand out from our camel. I think they will. Yeah. And maybe those. And then a slightly different colour. Maybe the mango might work. I think it will. Here it is, mango. And we'll do this bead. So we've got, it's a sort of orangey colour, but a more orangey yellow. There we are. Yeah. Now these straps on his legs, I'm thinking that we're going to do them the same colour as this one, and I'm saying to myself yes. So I'm going to grab that flame that we used and just colour all these in. And as we did before, just a layer of this, Now I'd quite like some red on him still. We've got a lot of red at the top, obviously, on our tents. So I'm thinking if I use some red down at the bottom on these little ankle coverings, then it's quite far away from the other red, so it might just work. I love colouring this because I know that's not going to take long, so I feel like I can take my time a bit more with it. Whereas a big picture with lots and lots of detail, I can personally get a little bit daunted by the amount there is left, and then I sort of start to rush because I want to get it done, and I can often look at a picture when I finished it and work out which bits I did first and which bits I did last because of the amount of detail and effort that's gone in. So for the autumn blaze, like we did on this one, just a little bit on the edges of each of our sort of straps, whatever you decide they are called. And what that does is adds a little bit of interest, but also helps with that illusion that the legs are round, well, sort of tubes, I suppose, rather than just a flat thing on a page. I'm thinking about what to cook for tea. It's really early, it's 10 to 3, but I'm just wondering because I am going to use the strawberry because it's a sort of orangey-ish, peachish red. I think it'll work. It'll be very different to these reds up here. Yeah, my father-in-law gave us some homegrown French beans, which are rather nice, and they will need to be boiled, but I don't usually boil veg, so I'm not really sure what to do with them really. I'm sure I will come up with some sort of plan. I can ask the children, but they just go, don't know, because they're useful like that. But I was going to make them cook a meal a week this holiday. I just haven't got round to thinking about it really. It seems to have been quite hectic with the bathroom work and other things going on. Now, we have a whole selection of things going on. So we have this piece here, then we have this piece here, there's a bit here, and then there's this, this and this. So we have lots of different blankets. Now I've got to decide whether I want to do them all as separate ones or just not worry about what's what and just use some random colours. I think what I would do is I would just use random colours on all the bits and pieces, and then I could potentially put a little bit of shadow around them so that you can see which is which. Maybe. I mean, another way is to just do a limited colour palette on each one, which will help you to see. So that that was all pink and that was all blue and that was all yellow, you would immediately see what was going on. So that is another way to sort of go about it. Now, oh dear, let's have a little think about colour. I'm quite keen on the blush pink and the hot pink combination, so maybe I will do them in sort of limited colour palettes. I'm just seeing whether I've got another colour that will go with these two. Yeah, let's use the salmon. So let's use this selection of colours. So we've got salmon, hot pink, blush pink. Okay, and we'll pick one of the blankets. I think this one here, and just start colouring. So this, sorry, is the salmon, and just going to start to that bit, and a bit of here. It's just going to be very random. just with the 3 colours, and maybe we'll do that sort of thing with all of them. Not really sure what I'm going to do near the, because we don't want to use red, blue or green up here, so we'll have to have a think, but we'll get there. So now the blush pink. I could come in a tad closer, couldn't I, for you? Now I'm not doing any sort of shading or anything, it's all just going to be block plain colouring because that's easier. I really like this colour. Now I'm not a pinky person, but I like this, it's sort of more of a orangey tone to it. And here we have the hot pink. Now, despite being called hot pink, it's not too bad. I just think it works with these other colours quite well. What should we do next? Thinking I need to work out what I'm doing, I think, underneath our tent, so I don't use up all my options that aren't blue or green, because of course I could do some blue, red down here if I felt that I wanted to. There we go. So we can't use green, blue, red or yellow, so we could do oranges or purples. We could do dewberry, light heather and amethyst. There they are together. So amethyst, dewberry, light heather. Let's start with the lightest like I did last time. So here is the light heather, and I'm just going to do every other zigzag. Now I've seen some really interesting backgrounds on this page. I am not intending on doing a background at all, nothing. I think all these bright colours are going to pop off the white page really well, and although I've got some smudging going on, I think it will be fine. But I've seen people draw in sand dunes or a whole sort of more circusy things going on in the background. Just colouring a bit of pastel sand in the background would work really well and be pretty easy. That sort of thing. There are various options available, but I think if I tried to do sand, the camel would disappear because he's pretty much sand colour, isn't he? So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So it's probably, I'm just going to leave well alone and not do a background. Didn't do one on in my book, first copy of this book either, which I've completed. There is a flip through available somewhere on my channel. There are a lot of videos on my channel, it's not as easy to find things. If you ever think, I want to know if you've done a video for X or X page, or how to colour X type of thing, or a flip through of this or that, just send me a comment. It doesn't have to be relevant to the video that I'm making, just comment and say, do you have a video for X? This is dewberry, and I will let you know. I tend to be able to remember pretty well, although the morning videos that I'm doing at the moment, I think I already did in a planner and I forgot. Whoops. But usually I remember, and I can search because it's a bit easier to search in the YouTube studio where I do my sort of editing-y type, don't edit, but you know, putting things up. It's easier to search there than it is within actual YouTube, I think. I don't think it should be, but it seems to be. Yeah, then we're going to do every other stripe. What's this one? I think this is easier than just using completely random colours. It's a little bit quicker than trying to choose a million trillion colours all the time. It's quite a lot of colours. We still get to showcase quite a lot of the colours from the Chromaflow, which is nice, because although I did do the sort of review and test video, it's quite nice to see it done and them used in a different picture in a different way. So here be the amethyst, and you know, I've done a little bit of mixing up of the colours on the camel itself as well, so it gives you a little bit of an idea of how they mix up, which is rather, they mix it very well, I think. Blend together nicely. I still haven't been to the Derwent Museum. It's something me and husband want to do, but children don't, so it's a bit tricky. And it's going to be even more tricky actually next summer to try and think of a holiday, because they've got to do a placement year and I don't know when it will start. Whether it will start in September or whether it will start in sort of June. I've got no idea what the expectation is really. Hopefully they'll get some more information about it once they go back. It's a while yet though. Got about 5 weeks I think, maybe longer when they go back. So my one son's saying it's gone too fast. Like holidays always do, don't they? Gone too fast for me as well. Right, I think I'm going to do a green one down here. So I'm going to use some different shades of green to what we've used before. I think we won't go with the sort of grey olivey greens. I think I want to use the brights. So I might use what are these up here? The lemon lime with the key lime and the spring bud. I think they'll make a nice little mix. So here you go, spring bud, lemon lime, key lime. And yeah, this one down here, we're far away from this green bit here, so shouldn't create us any problems. So I'm going to start with the lemon lime, just because it's the first one I grabbed. Do this bit in here. Wow, that's bright. I did say I wanted bright. I think this bit as well. There we go. Yeah, I think it's better having these little clusters of colour. I'm thinking it's helping us to distinguish between the different blankets. I wonder if this is what camels look like. They have all these different blankets on them. I mean, obviously, I've seen camels, but they don't, you know, I mean, camels that are slightly domesticated or trained, key lime. Never seen one like that. You know, we don't do that in zoos in this country. I think there used to be a zoo where you could have a ride on an elephant in the UK, but it's frowned upon these days. This is spring bud. It's not very nice, the animal. But I know you can ride camels and things when you go to certain foreign countries. I I know my second cousin did. So it happens. Now, I'm thinking I want sort of red, but we've got a lot of red because we've got red here, red that maybe not red. Blue, not sure really. What are we missing? What could we do with? Let's have a little look on our swatch. Got a tiny bit here. I'm thinking maybe that tiny bit could be blue. Where are blues? Back here. Let's use this one. This is some blue orchid. It's a bit of a different shade of blue to one we used at the top. I'm going to do those as well. So it's just a little bit. There we go. Right, we've got 3 left, haven't we? I'm wondering. I think I'm going to go for this one next and do it sort of orangey, or maybe more peachy. Actually, we've got the. What was that? That's nice. Those 3, I think I'm going to use. Means a lot, doesn't it? Those 3. Do you want to know what they are? I'm just grabbing them. Deep vermilion, melon, and orange crush. Okay, so the lightest is the melon. I'm going to use that first. Now, this sort of stripy bit, I'm going to assume is definitely part of this blanket, not a sort of separate bit. That is that one, and this level here. I'm just trying to pick out so that I can have the colours all separated from each other. There we go. Then the next darkest I think is the orange crush. I'm not entirely sure, it doesn't matter. And I shall do the stripes with this one. As you can see, it's not a vibrant orange in the same way that the strap orange that we've used already. It's quite different. There we go. And lastly, the deep vermilion. Now for me, a deep vermilion is usually a really dark orange or a deep red, but this is not. It's more of a peachy colour. I rather like it. Okay, so we've got this one. We could do some, I've got browns there, maybe that would be better in browns. Yellows we probably could do with, so let's have a look. We've got the sun yellow, the pineapple, which is a lot paler, and sunflower, which we have used already, but actually we only need 2, so put that back. I'm not sure where it goes now. Does it go there? There. Sorry, I want to put it back in the right place. There we go. So I'm thinking the pineapple and the sun yellow for this one. And because we've only got a couple of bits, I've got this really big layer here. I did say I was going to do these in a really dark colour so that it wouldn't show up the fact that I'd gone over it. So I may have to grab another colour for those. Just get this bit done. And then the sun yellow for the bottom part. Like that. Now these, I'm thinking maybe a brown, a dark brown, Yeah, I'm going to go for the coffee bean, really dark. Fiddly. I'll get there. There we go. Now I'm just going to go over that little bit there in a Dijon where I missed it. I was colouring it earlier. There we go, just around these. Now we've got our last one here to do. Now we have done some vibrant pinks and purples. We've got more dull colours here. We've got turquoise blue. So we could do browny reds. I was thinking maybe. Although we've used that there, I'm thinking maybe redwood, burnt sienna and raisin. I think we've used the raisin already though. We used it for that, didn't we? But we could use it again. We'll grab the redwood and the burnt sienna anyway. And we'll see, we may not read the raisin. We'll see how it goes. Oh, we will, definitely. So this is the redwood, sorry. I'm going to start with our stripes. And then these circles. It's almost tempted to do them like gemstones, but I think it will just be a flat weave on a blanket. There we go. Now I'm going to go with the burnt sienna for this sort of large area here. To do all the large areas with this. And we'll just use the raisin for the stripe at the top and this horizontal stripe here. Trying to neaten it up a little bit. And here is the raisin to finish. Gosh, I didn't bother putting the pencils back in the pencil case this time, so I'm going to have a lot of putting back to do. I shall use my swatch chart to help me put them back in the right places. There we go. Now I did say, should I do a little bit of shading around the blankets? I'm going to do the tiniest bit just to show you. I'm going to use the slate grey to do this. And I'm going to just sharpen it because it's not very sharp. Okay. Now I'm going to start along this edge and just put a little bit along here. And then put a little bit under there, down that side there. I have to put a thicker layer along here for you to be able to see it. This one is got a curly pattern, just to make it awkward. A little bit in there. And yeah, down here, that's right. Maybe that's somewhere in mid. And then I'm thinking a little bit of shadow here. Can you still see what I'm doing? Let's put it down a little bit. So along the edge of the tent there, and here, sorry my hand is shading it. Let's go around that way as you can see. And then around here I would do it, but it's so dark it's not going to show up. So I'm not going to do any more. I'm going to come out so you can see him, because I am down and you can see my detritus of pencils. It's fine, I shall tidy up in a moment. But there he is, all finished. I had such fun. Thank you for watching. I hope you coloured along or had fun or whatever, or coloured something. Yeah, have a super day. And tomorrow my plan, as of now, before I've recorded it, is to go back to the ivy page and do more on that. I'm looking forward to it, so I hope I will. But thank you for watching. Have a super day and happy colouring.